Good afternoon, MFFLers. This is your commissioner with your Week 5 review. First, I wanted to go over the standings a little bit, some interesting tidbits here. In the Superstar Division, we got the Pigs at 4-1, Biohazards at 3-2, Bourbonites fall to 1-4, Bullies at 0-5. Professional sound effects, folks. The All-American Division, Bad Company 4-1, Fighting Sioux 3-2, Kabasa Kings 3-2, and the Cartel at 1-4. The Power Pack Division, Untouchables 5-0, Bionic Commandos 4-1, Lead Dogs 2-3, Fury 0-5. So yeah, this has been pretty interesting here, and what I really wanted to point out in the wake of the huge week by the lead dogs was that things aren't always as they seem. Now that was a huge week. It was a great win. Lead dogs are up to 2-3, which I think matches his total wins for last year, something like that. Maybe exceeds it. But let's go to the power rankings. If you guys haven't seen this, it's just like at CBS pretty much. It's right on the top line there next to standings. And right now, top 5 will go Untouchables, War Pigs, Fighting Sioux, Bionic Commandos, Bad Company, and down from there. One of the things that it will show you is the points for each team. And let's take, for example, the Lead Dogs, who just put up 100. The problem is he has a total of 354, which is, let's see, the second lowest in the entire league. So 2 wins, somebody's getting lucky every week, right? You got the Broad Street Bullies at 329, firmly last place, right where he should be, 0-5. That's not surprising. Fury, a step above that, 362, right near the bottom, also 0-5. Sometimes things are right, sometimes things are a little shaky there. Then you've got somebody like the Fighting Sioux, who are 3-2, but number 3 in the power rankings. Another thing to look at here that makes things interesting, if you played everyone in any given week, it will show you that on the right side here. Again, you can look at this for yourself. Maybe you're too lazy, you just want to listen to my beautiful voice drone on about it. But a winning percentage for Untouchables, who is undefeated and has the most points in the league right now, of 78% winning percentage for the Untouchables. That's if he played everyone. He'd be 43-12. That's pretty good, right? Let's go back down to my comparison argument. Lead Dogs, who is 2-3 on our season, but 36.4% winning percentage if he played everyone. So he's getting lucky. So, you know, I'm not saying you're doing a bad job. I'm just saying you're playing the right people at the right time. Then you've got somebody like the Cartel, who's 1-4, 46%. That wouldn't be great, but probably his team's a little better than his record is showing. So anyway, I thought that was pretty interesting. Some pretty interesting things going on in the league. And like was mentioned, Lead Dogs with the highest point total of the week. We had a number of teams also go over 90, which is another high-scoring week for a lot of teams. Some people got lucky and played the right team at the right time, and some people got very unlucky and played the wrong team. So let's go to the scoring for Week 5. First up, the aforementioned Cartel and the Lead Dogs. And if you haven't seen it, Jeff has a great trash talk, which isn't really trash talk. It's mostly him crying at the bottom of the page there. And if you don't see it, maybe you've changed your page so you don't see it properly, but it's there. Cartel with 23 from Derek Carr. That's a good total. LeGarrette Blunt with only 9. Not good. Terrence West with 9. Nobody else did much except for Greg Olson, who blew up. From what I understand, is his best receiving total of his career with 18 points on 181 receiving yards. Apparently Derek Anderson only had eyes for the other white guy in the field. So, On the bench, we had 20 for Cameron Artis-Payne. That could have been an interesting sub. Not sure why you do that, though. Tyrell Williams, 17 on the bench for the Chargers. That, again, wouldn't have made a difference because the lead dogs had the most points in the league. Lead dogs with 18 for Sam Bradford. Tevin Coleman, big 22, dude, continues to come through, making that Atlanta backfield very interesting. Sammy Coates, 25 gigantic points. Dude is a rookie and taking advantage of his playing time opportunities in Pittsburgh. And those are the big numbers there. He did get 11 from Crosby, so who cares? Matt Asiata with 15 on the bench for the winning lead dogs. Next, we got Bad Company at Bionic Commandos. Bad Company put the beat down on here. Actually, it was very close. Came down to tight end Cameron Brate for the Commandos, who did not come through, only had 3 points, needed a touchdown or two or a bunch of yardage in the touchdown for the Commandos to pull off that win. As it stands, Bad Company with 95 to Bionic Commandos 87. That's probably more like a fuck you for not inviting me to your wedding, Jeff, or the rest of us. But happy wedding, happy congratulations and all that great blissful stuff. So Bad Company gets 30 from Phillip Rivers, and they still lose. Freaking San Diego Superchargers, they suck. C.J. Anderson with only 6, rough day. Ezekiel Elliott, Mr. Traded from the Biohazards with 28. Dude continues to look, and I'm pretty sure he actually leads the NFL in rushing right now, so that's interesting. Hopkins with 11. Nobody else did anything, but he didn't need them to. Well, he got 12 from the Bills defense. Commandos had to go with Brian Hoyer, who ended up with 23 in place of Drew Brees this week, so that's not bad. That was good. Isaiah Crowell, though, for the Browns, only 3. Sproles, another bye week replacement with 6. So you're really kind of looking at this as a bye week loss, which, to only lose by 8 points on a bye week loss with some of your key guys out, it's not too bad. So those are the big numbers. Amari Cooper and T.Y. Hilton over 20 for both wide receivers. So that was a good week for the Commandos. He just played the wrong guy. Let's see. I guess I could mention here, heartbreakingly, Delaney Walker with 12 on the bench for the Commandos. And you take out that 3 points for Cameron Brate, who he started, and yes, the Commandos would have won, so that sucks. Let's go Bourbonites at Untouchables next. Bourbonites, this is another close game. Bourbonites with only 12 from Flacco, not good. Melvin Gordon, another good game, 13, continues to fumble. Maybe part of San Diego's problem right there. Eddie Lacy gets hurt, but looked good before that. Only has 8. Odell Beckham scores again. Hugs a net. He gets 11. Demaryius Thomas with 10. Dwayne Allen with 11. So pretty good there. A little rough at the quarterback spot, though. Only ends up with 75 for Bourbonites, who didn't have anything on the bench to speak of. And Matthew Stafford for the Untouchables with 20. Somehow the Lions win. Didn't deserve to at all, as everybody knows. Forte with only 5. LaShawn McCoy with 15. Mike Evans with 14. And that was the big one. Evans on Monday Night Football came through to get the Untouchables the win there. Because A.J. Green only had 5. Cincinnati looked terrible. I don't know how you lose to Dallas like that. They got smoked. Matt Bryant with 11 for his kicker. Dak Prescott on the bench had 19 at QB, so that was a wash. Devonta Freeman was 17 on the bench. Probably didn't want to start him versus the Broncos, but he came through, as did most of the Atlanta offensive players. So that would have made a point difference, but he already won anyway, so it didn't matter. Next, we got War Pigs at Fury. Another huge week for Ben Roethlisberger with 31. I will take that every day of the week. Jordan Howard comes through again, 21 points. Dude looks like a monster. I don't know how he's going to lose his job to Langford if he ever comes back. Maybe they'll just cut him. please. Travis Benjamin comes through with 11 from the Chargers. Jordy scores, but nobody else had anything interesting there. But that's a big total for the Pigs at 94. Really boosted by Roethlisberger's 31. On the bench, everybody was out on bye for the most part. Nothing really interesting there. And the Fury with 19 from Aaron Rodgers. Unfortunately for him, one of those went to Jordy, so that negated that. Duke Johnson with almost nothing. Theo Riddick blew up for 19. That was his big player for the week. Brandon Marshall also was 17. Will Fuller, did he get hurt for Houston, or did they just suck? 0 points. 17 for the kicker. So, one of your best players was the kicker. It's not going to be a good week. So I don't know. I'm not sure what to say about Fury here. Did have Brandon Cooks on bye. But, you got Peterson sitting there on the bench doing nothing. Maybe it's time to trade, cut, put on IR, try to make a move. But maybe that's not your personality. Next, we got the Bullies at the Fighting Sioux. Bullies get Tom Brady back. He blows up for 29. Jay Ajayi for 10. Everybody else sucked. Looks like a lot of 7s on this board. He only ends up with 65. The Fighting Sioux, meanwhile, had to start Derek Anderson in place of Cam. He only gets 11, but he didn't need the points because Todd Gurley had 16. Carlos Hyde had 16. Antonio Brown with 13. Crabtree with 10. Gronkowski with 10. Even the Minnesota defense with 10 gets the Sioux to 90. Another good week for the Sioux there. Last game of the week, Hazards at Kielbasa Kings. This looked like it could have been a monstrous blowout after David Johnson Thursday night goes for 29. But that ended up being more than a third of the Biohazards points this week, as Matt Ryan had a rough time at Denver. His team won, so it wasn't that rough. Le'Veon Bell with 14 had a good week. Julio got shut down by Denver. Tajay Sharp did nothing. Hunter Henry did score, had a good game for San Diego. So he ends up with 87. That's a good week for the Hazards. And the Kings did get 21 from Andrew Luck. Lamar Miller got shut down. DeMarco Murray had another good game. Marvin Jones, decent. Manuel Sanders, Ertz, that was the big one right there. Ertz had 3, and the Kings had choice of 3 tight ends here, and he picked the wrong one. Martellus Bennett scores 3 times for the Patriots. It's 24 points, 24 points on the bench. 21 plus that. Yep, Kings would have won if he had started Martellus Bennett. According to the Kings, and this is a direct quote, I should have gone with my gut. And you are correct, Mike. You should have, and that's what happens when you don't. So yeah, that's the week. It looked pretty good on the most part. We've got the teams going up, continue going up, and we got the teams going down, continue going down. I can't even speak. This has been so long, I just can't speak anymore. The teams going down continue to go down. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I don't know, you guys at 0-5 and 1-4 want to make some moves, want to start trading picks. It's a little early for that, but if you're 0-5 especially, listen, we're more than a third of the way through the season already, so it might be time to take drastic measures. Anyway, have a good week, everyone, and I will see you next time.